Good afternoon. Miken Easton Pro Bob O'Brien here. I want to do a short video today on advanced hitting. We just did a class at the Softball Magazine spring training up in Viera, Florida. And I'm going to post that one here soon as well. It's a little bit longer. It was the full class, but I wanted to do a little short one here for you. Kind of something I've been wanting to do for a little while. I call it less, more, less. What I'm seeing as I give all my lessons, and I just think people are doing too much with their feet and their hands, and not enough with their hips. So today's session is called less, more, less. I'm going to talk to you about doing less with your feet, more with your hips, and less with your hands. So follow along with me. When we talk about the stride, a lot of times the stride will get us in trouble. So we don't want to overstride. All right. The biggest one is when we dive in. The biggest problem is when we dive in for an outside pitch. All right. Pitch is coming in. We see it working to the outside part of the board or the mat, and we end up really stepping after it. All right. I have a half a shoe rule. I'll give you a half of a shoe. All right, to dive in. If you go a full shoe, what's really happening is you're locking out your hips. We all know that we've got to get our hips through in order to get the energy from the ground to the hands. You've heard me say that 100 times in my videos. We get our energy from the ground, we've got to move it to the hands. The hips are a door, you must open that door, all right? So what you really don't want to do is you don't want your stride when we go here to lock the hips. Now we can't get our hips all the way through. We can still hit the ball, but it's going to be all upper body. So we don't want to do that. We also don't want to overreact to the inside pitch where we step out too far. So the pitch is coming inside and we step a full shoe to the left. What that does is it opens our hips too soon before we swing. If that happens, you're losing energy as well. All right. So again, I'll give you half a shoe here. I'll give you half a shoe here in order to hit the inside pitch. Just don't overreact and overstride on me, okay? The other one is the short pitch where we really go after it too far. All right? I like to stand up in the box where I am here, but if you're in the middle of the board and the short pitch is coming, a lot of people will really go out here, bend over, and try to hit this. This is not a very strong position right here. All right, so we don't want to overstride. The farther our feet are apart, the less rotation we can get. It's easier to spin with our feet closer together. So we don't want to overstride either. All right, so find you a good place in the box. I like to stand in a neutral position. All right, when that foot gets down, the hands go back and we get to what we call that launch position. That's where you want to be. I don't care how you stand in the box, but when that foot gets down, you need to be on your back leg, your hands back, and ready to unload and turn on it. All right? The last thing we do also too much is with the hands. The same concept. What happens to a lot of people that I work with is they'll see an outside pitch and they'll overreact to it. So in other words, they'll either bend over and try to reach it that way, or they just plain old reach out there with their hands. When you do that, you got to remember, we're not trying to catch the ball. All right, we don't have a glove on our hand. We're not trying to catch the ball. We're trying to hit the ball. We've got 34 inches of bat and about 30 inches of arms, at least I do. All right, so that's 64 inches of plate coverage. I'm only standing about 20 inches off of the mat. The mat is only 19 inches wide. All right, so I've got plenty. So on that outside pitch, I still want to stay in, let it get deep, and get my barrel out there over the strike zone. All right? But a lot of people, when they see that outside pitch, they not only dive in after it, but they reach. And when the arms get away from your body, you're just not as strong. You want to stay connected as if you're boxing. You want to stay in tight. This is where we're strong. We're not strong when we get way out here. All right? So don't overreact with the hands away. Don't overreact with the hands on the short pitch. In other words, a lot of people they'll see that short pitch and they'll drop their hands. Again, that's not a real strong position. I'd like to see you keep your hands up and just drop your bat head to go down and get that short pitch. Then you may hit it on the way up and still get that short one in the air. If you chase that short one and you don't go get it with your hands, all right, forward, you'll roll over it and hit a grounder to short. Okay? So keep that in mind. The other is sometimes we overreact on the high pitch. It's the only way to explain how sometimes we'll swing at a pitch up here and still hit it down. All right? So just don't get in the habit of overreacting and doing too much with the hands. I want you to do a little bit less. In other words, if you watch me here, I'm going to keep my hands and elbows connected to my body. And as I turn my hips, my hands move without me moving them. My body is moving my hands. I'm not moving my hands. They're staying connected. So ideally, I would love to see you stay connected. Let the hips initiate the hand movement, and then just throw the bat head. So it's hips first, get the hand started, and then throw the knob at the ball. All right? All right, now we want to talk about the more portion of our swing. We just did the less with the feet and less with the hands. We really need to do more with the hips. You've heard me say before, 85% of your potential energy comes from the rotation of the body. All right? The easy expression is the faster you spin, the farther it goes. All right? Kinetic energy's moved up the body through rotational motion. So I really want to see you, and a lot of the people, seniors I've been working with lately, they just don't get their hips through enough. They're not using those hips. All right? So let me talk a little bit about how those hips can actually do it. We're going to start with our knees bent in a good postured position. If you have to stick your butt out a little bit to help get the weight on the balls of your feet, that's fine. All right. A lot of us in softball want to stand straight up. That puts the weight on your heels. I'd love to see just a little bend. Stick your butt out and bend your knees a little bit and get in that good athletic position. Once we're there, all right, we're going to pick the front foot up and put it down. So we've got a strong base. Now watch my knees. What's going to happen as I turn is this leg is going to go from flexion to extension. All right, flexion to extension. And when I do that, hit up, we call this a firm front side. If you're hitting off of a firm front side, that's going to help keep you back and not let you get out over your front side. If this knee is bent, watch this. If that knee is bent, you could be lunging a whole lot and really moving too forward. Okay? We don't want to be jumping at the ball, lunging at the ball. So that goes by get that foot down. You'll land on the ball of your foot. And then as you turn, that left knee is going to straighten out and keep you back. The right knee, in the meantime, is actually going to roll and turn towards your left knee. I like to say, introduce your knees to each other. So we start here, and then as we rotate from that angle there, you'll see the knees almost say hi. It's almost like doing the twist, all right, or the way Elvis used to move back in the day. But that's really what we want to do. It's just it's a hip rotation. This leg goes from flexion to extension. This hip actually comes back towards me a little bit, and this hip goes forward, all right? So we've really got to roll those hips. I have a nice drill that I like. It's a one-handed drill where I just put the bat on my shoulder. And when I put my foot down and fire my hips, that bat wants to go. It doesn't want to stay on my shoulder anymore. It just wants to go. So I'm creating bat speed with my hips, the rotation of the body. Here it is with the top hand. Set it on the shoulder, fire the hips. And that bat just wants to leave the body. That's part of the centrifugal force, which is the third scientific principle that we use in hitting. Rotary motion, linear motion, and centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is what moves your energy down your arms and out to the bat. All right? So now, if we just set our bat on our shoulder, fire the hips, and then control the bat with our hands, this game becomes really easy. Here it is. Foot goes down. I'm going to fire here. All right? Look at that left knee. I'm going to go. All right? That bat head's going to go through. My right knee and left knee are close to each other, and I should finish at 50% here, and I'm up off of my back heel. Okay? Everybody with me? Some of you big hitters, you really want to go, you'll over-rotate, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Where it looks like you hit and come out of your swing, I'm okay with that. The more we rotate, the faster the hands, the farther the ball goes. So that's fine as well. Step away from the hands, fire the hips, give me good balance, all right? And watch that baby fly. All right, now I want to show you a few from the back. All right, here we go. Going to take a few swings now and try to show you a little bit. The feet, again, should be the easiest part of the teach. You'll have that down in no pat. Pick your foot up, put it down, all right, and go to town. Don't overreact with your feet. Here's the overreaction with the hands. On this one, you'll notice I've got the ball set up on the outside corner. All right, all I want to do to hit this pitch, guys, is I can take the exact same swing that I do on this pitch that I do on an inside pitch. And the only thing that's going to happen is, because of where the tee has the ball, I let the ball get deep. So with this one right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire the hips, get my hands initiated, and then just let the barrel go and control it with my hands. And when I do that, that ball is automatically, because of my angle at contact, is going to go to the right side. I do not have to reach, and I do not have to step in. In fact, you can see now, if I step in and go after that, I'm going to jam myself. So here, all it is, I'm in a good neutral position off the board. Here comes the pitch. I'm going to stay connected, keep my hands inside the ball, and swing. And that ball's going to go to the right side because of where I made contact with it, not because of what I did with it. All right, here it is again. Neutral position, get the foot down, throw the hands, lead with the hands, and that ball is going to go to the right side. All right, hit pretty well. Do not reach. If I overreact and dive in, or if I overreact and reach, you're not going to get the good part of the bat on it. Here it is. All right, that one hit me about right here, just short of the E on the Easton. Great bat, by the way, the Easton Mario Foster. Very good bat. All right, one more. Outside pitch. Everything else stays the same. Slow motion. Here it is. Boom. All right, I'm going to hit it back here. My hands are going to lead the way. That ball's going to go to the right. Same swing. There's the pitch down the middle, going to center field. Here's the pitch that's on the inside part. All right, to left field. I'm going to take that, put it way out here on the inside part of the board. All right. Notice that pitch is on the inside part of the board. Same swing. There it was going to right. There it is to center. There it is to left. Stay connected. Sit back. Fire the hips. And throw the hands. All right. And you're able to pull it. So we could hit all three pitches with the same action. I do not need to overreact. It's all on where I make contact. Here it comes. Pick it up, put it down, stay back, and rotate. A little under that one. This is why I like tee work. We can put the ball where we want it and work on it. From here, I ought to be able to square this one up. Here it comes. I'm going to stay inside. I'm not going to reach. I'm not going to drop. Hands are going to stay connected. The first part of the swing. Then I'm just going to release the bat head. Here it comes. Foot down, hips fire. Release the bat head. All right? Keep it simple. Less with the feet, more with the hips, less with the hands. Barrel the ball up. You'll be a great hitter. All right, here we are. Now we're going to hit a few live ones. Just want you to be able to see. Hopefully you can see my feet. But watch my hands. Let's see if I overreact or underreact. I don't like hitting with glasses on. So I'll put them up high. Hit it where it's pitched. Here we go. Look at that. Strike one. Good pitch. Get behind that screen. Outside pitch. Hit it where it's pitched. Middle in. Middle in. Middle in. Nice bat. Middle away. Don't have to do anything special. All right, just let it get deep and hit it where it's pitched. Got me on a high one. Still went 310. Little in. Short. Quiet with the feet, explode with the hips. All right. Good posture. Step away from the hands. Hit that high one. Hit that right center gap. Nothing changes. Look at my feet. They're not doing a whole lot of different on each pitch. Heads up. It came through the middle. Another one in the middle. This game's easy. We end up making it harder than it really is, gang. Concentrate on the ball, hit it where it's pitched. Throw that one in the gap. Let's see if we can get one going. Ball outside. A little high one. Feathered that one. 320. There we go. All right. Keep it simple. This game's not as hard as we think it is. Oh boy, listen to that. There, say hi. All right, there's my BP picture.